Hello and welcome back to my channel, Little Pages for Little Learners. My name is Mary and today I'm coming at you with another book review. If you have been following along, then you know that I participated in the Beaches and Books Readathon for 2024. And this video is another video that I created that is part of the series where I go over each of the books that I read, talk about the pros and cons of the books, and some quotes from the book that give you a little bit of a feel for what the book's about and if it would be a good fit for you or your children. I am a former kindergarten and second grade teacher, but I'm currently stepped out of the classroom and a full-time student at the University of Kentucky working towards a PhD in educational sciences. So while my current studies are really focused on educational policy and measurement and evaluation, literacy has always been and will always be my first love. As a former kindergarten and second grade teacher, I really understand and value the importance of teaching children the mechanics of how to read. What does it mean to lift the words off the page with fluency and accuracy? But as I moved into second grade and then continue to work with many of my students, even up into the 8th grade, you really start to see the shift that you move from learning how to read to reading to learn. And that is where all these middle grade books come in. So the books and the book reviews and this series are really for those older readers who are capable of reading independently, who are proficient, and who are ready for a more challenging read. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this book review, How to Get Away with Myrtle. How to Get Away with Myrtle is written by Elizabeth C. Bounce. The AR reading level is 5.8, which means that the average 5th grader in the 8th month should be able to read this book with comprehension. It, of course, is a murder mystery. Just like, to my understanding, all of the Myrtle mysteries will be murder mysteries. And this book followed the prompt for the Beaches and Books Readathon for a book that you think will be 5 stars, and this book did not disappoint. How to Get Away with Myrtle takes place chronologically right after book 1 in the series, Premeditated Myrtle. And much to Myrtle's dismay, she was not invited to Paris with her father to sort out all of the legalities of that murder mystery. Instead, she was shipped off, as she says, with her governess, Miss Judson, and her Aunt Helena to a luxurious hotel on the seaside. So she is not happy about this arrangement at all. If you happen to read book 1, you know that her Aunt Helena is a very well-to-do woman, very proper and distinguished, and does not tolerate Myrtle's histrionics at all. And she has very high expectations that Myrtle will behave like a lady and stay away from any mysteries, especially murder mysteries. But when the crown jewels are stolen and her aunt is accused of murder, Myrtle has no choice but to get involved. So this full cast mystery includes our beloved Myrtle, her governess, Miss Judson, her Aunt Helena, a flamboyant Sir Quentin, his daughter Temperance, several witty, batty, and potentially suspect characters are all aboard a luxurious train that is going to take them to the seaside. So the beginning of our story takes place on this train ride where the crown jewels are stolen and the murder takes place, and then they arrive to the seaside where the rest of the story will take place. We also have Peony the cat from the first book, and we do get to see Mr. Blakeney again, which is a delight if you have read the first book. So this book is going to grab your attention with a suspicious intruder, a glimpse at the crown jewels displayed on the train, a tense encounter between Sir Quentin, who owns the jewels, and the insurance agent, but it is full of suspense, humor, and several plot twists. Some key themes and takeaways in this book are the strong female character leads. This book honors, respects, and elevates strong-willed and intelligent women. A lot of critical thinking going into solving the mysteries, reasoning skills, and teamwork. At this point, as usual, I'm going to go ahead into the book and start reading some quotes from the book. So, as I mentioned before in other videos, there will be some spoilers, but again, my intent is really for parents to watch these videos and to decide if they think that this book would be a good fit for their child. So I want to give you enough of a glimpse to get a good feel of the book, but not too much that it completely spoils the book. So the first quote I'm going to read occurs right after the jewels are stolen. And Myrtle has had it about up to here with the whole behaving like a lady, and nobody will let her get near this case. She is dying to solve the mystery of who stole these crown jewels, but she is not permitted to. So this quote that I'm about to read is really going to highlight some of the great vocabulary in this book, the tone, the humor in the book, and of course, our beloved Myrtle. I closed my notebook and sighed, looking out the window. We were still hours from Fairhaven, our winding coastal route having been chosen not for efficiency, but to give the excursionist a luxury rail travel experience, including dinner, breakfast, the finest sleeping accommodations, and a jewel thief. Gloomy clouds hung over the vast, desolate emptiness. The coastline bumped past in rocky clusters, scrubby hillsides breaking into occasional flashes of dark water. What had become of the thief and the tiara? Had they disappeared into the night after all? Perhaps they'd been waiting nearby. They could be halfway across the channel by now. Discouraged and confused, I finally packed up my notes and wandered back to my own party. So I would just love that line about the experience to include dinner, breakfast, the finest sleeping accommodations, and a jewel theft. I just love that. Just like lots of little subtle humor. The next quote is also going to take place when they're on the train. And this time, Myrtle is still trying to live up to the expectations that she has on her to be a lady and to be proper. But like I mentioned before, she can only handle this so much. And so in this scene, she's going to explode a little bit. I'd had enough of being somebody else for one day. I do hope the unpleasantness won't cause any problems for the hotel. I can't think a jewel theft and a murder would be good for business. There. I'd managed to work 3 entirely unsuitable topics into one sentence. You'd be surprised. All eyes swung towards Sicily. We were in Brighton this summer. The hotel was robbed and nobody even batted an eye. All right, so I have one more quote for you, and this one really highlights Miss Judson, Myrtle's governess, who is irrepressible and fabulous. I mean, you will come away loving this woman and wanting to be this woman. To give a little context around this quote, because there was a crime scene aboard the train, the passengers were not allowed to get their luggage, and so as a result they only have any carry-on luggage as far as clothes and books or any of those things. And so Sir Quentin, who is the flamboyant travel agent and planned this whole excursion, and the train is his and the hotel is his, he goes out and purchases some clothes and items and gives those to Myrtle and Miss Judson. So he brings those to their hotel room, and this is what is said, and it starts with Myrtle. I expect that someone might consider such largesse a bribe, I said. Isn't that right, Miss Judson? To keep us quiet, not raise a fuss about my aunt being arrested? Oh, surely not. Miss Judson smiled brilliantly at Sir Quentin. I'm sure Sir Quentin had no such designs. Because she lifted the lid on a glove box to inspect its kid-skin contents. We have every intention of making a fuss, don't we, Myrtle? I mean, I just love her. I just love her. All right, so I'm not actually gonna say anything else because I don't want to give any more spoilers than that, but it is a 5-star without a doubt. I've read 2 books in the series. I intend on reading the entire series. It is brilliant, it is hilarious, it is engaging. I mean, it is everything that makes a book, especially if you love a good murder mystery. This is your book. The only warnings for these books is that the vocabulary is very sophisticated and rich. So the author definitely sets a tone of respect for her reader. She is elevating the reader and really gives that honor that if the child doesn't know what the word is, they will either be able to figure it out based on the context, or they'll take the time to look it up. But really, that is the only warning. I think that it's a brilliant book, and I would highly recommend both first and second book in the series, and presumably the whole series. That is it for this video. Hopefully you found this information helpful. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you know somebody else who you think might enjoy the video, please be sure to share it with them. And then also, if there's something specific that you're looking for or a book that you would like me to do a review on, please go ahead and leave that in the comments below, and I would love to form some videos around what might fit your needs. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and finish all the 12 books that I read for this readathon, but it will be great to hear some things that you want to hear in the future. So thank you again, and I'll see you in another video with another book review.